4 years on from the Springboks' triumph at the Rugby World Cup, the 1999 tournament was the first to be played in the professional era. Australia's captain was John Eales, a World Cup winner from 1991, but also a member of the side that had lost to England in a dramatic quarter-final in Cape Town in 1995.
The disappointment from '95 was really important for us, and I think even though all of that team didn't go through to '99, some really core members of that team did go right through. And you never forget the pain. In fact, I think as human beings we remember the pain more than we do the good times. And the lessons from '95 where, yes, we still trained hard going into the tournament, but I don't think our focus was right. Our focus was more on how we're going to win this World Cup rather than let's just win one game at a time.
But in 1999, with lessons learned and Rod McQueen as coach, Australia topped their pool to set up a quarter-final against Wales at their impressive new home.
Millennium Stadium, gee, that's a hostile environment. I don't think there's any place in the world when you're playing against the home team that is more hostile than that place. Everyone wears red. You look around the ground. The noise is incredible.
To the despair of the home fans, a Ben Tune try and two from George Gregan secured a place in the last four against South Africa at Twickenham. And in that enthralling encounter, Stephen Larkham brought the Springboks' reign as world champions to an end. At full-time, Australia celebrated, and thoughts then turned to the final.
We were on a bus. We got a bus back the next day from London to Cardiff. And the whole way back on the bus, there was the management team and the players were starting to think about the All Blacks. How are we going to play the All Blacks in the final? The management team went in a separate little minibus and actually started focusing and putting together game plans for the All Blacks.
In the Five Nations Championship that year, France had finished bottom, and a New Zealand victory was surely little more than a formality.
It was extraordinary. I'm not sure, some of our guys in the room were, as we watched it, almost cheering the French because it was one of those amazing games to watch. But then also, I think it was David Wilson that said, guys, if they can do that to the All Blacks, the French are capable of anything. We can't be too excited here. And it was, I think our video analyst had to go and he thought he was going to have an easy night because he'd already cut up all the stuff about the All Blacks. He thought there's nothing more he could do. He went from basically the full-time whistle in that game, non-stop till 6 a.m. the next morning, cutting up footage of the French throughout the World Cup and prior. We had to start all over again.
8 years after their previous World Cup success, Australia were looking to become the first country to win the Webb Ellis Cup for a second time. But there was always the chance that France would repeat their semi-final exploits of the previous week.
When Trini scored that try, it was looking pretty good, but we still couldn't be sure because we saw what the French did the week before. When Owen Finnegan ran in for his try, we knew that was it. And it's pretty rare in a major sporting event that you can almost relax, like you don't turn off, but you can almost relax, you know you've won it. And we really just enjoyed the last 5 or 10 minutes of that game like I've never enjoyed a game of football, I think. The main feeling is just satisfaction. No, we had come from being a team that got knocked out in the quarterfinal at the previous World Cup, that couldn't beat New Zealand in '95, '96 or '97, that struggled against, we had wins against South Africa, but we struggled through a lot of matches. And we came from being that team to being a team that was the best in the world. It was a sense of great accomplishment.